So Vande Mataram, in your view, as of last week, placed on record in a parliamentary bulletin as a slogan that was both indecorous and non-serious. Shukhodang Borodang Matarang, give us happiness. Today, an arbitrary, hurried exercise of your design is making the Election Commission force such work pressure that BLOs are committing suicide. And what does the Election Commission say to us? They say, oh, it's in the line of duty. They should be happy doing it. To be a minority in India today is to be perpetually suspect, perpetually second class, and perpetually subordinate. Far from feeling happy, minorities are fearing the state instead of feeling protected by it. So let me, as a true Bengali, as a proud Bengali, speak for 10 koti Bengalis today, who you call Bangladeshis, who you call Rohingyas. You harass us on the streets, in colonies, you throw us out when we are pregnant across the border. I'm going to dissect the song stanza by stanza and demonstrate how you are butchering both the spirit and the soul of Vande Mataram far more than any 1937 resolution ever did. Why have you all gathered here today? It is because the government of the day wishes to have a discussion on our national song, Vande Mataram, in the 150th year of its birth. हम ध्यान से आपकी बात सुने, राजनाथ जी और पीएम साहब दोनों। बहुत खूबसूरत है हर बात, लेकिन अगर दिल भी होता तो क्या बात होती? The irony is not lost on us parliamentarians present here, or on a billion-plus Indians who we represent, that we are living in an India today where real unemployment among the youth is upwards of 20%. That we are choking in a national capital where AQI routine levels are over 800, when the centre is purposefully starving non-BJP states of their Manrega, their housing, and their water dues, where millions of people are being subjected to a hurried, arbitrary process of mass disenfranchisement, when in session after session, we in the opposition are bullied, browbeaten, and prevented from raising pressing issues of national importance, suddenly the government finds it so important, so necessary, so urgent to discuss the historical complexities of a song. What is even more ironic is the claim that the hate and divisiveness in today's India can be linked back to this song. And by the way, just 2 weeks ago, on November 24, 2025, the Rajya Sabha Parliamentary Bulletin published a section on parliamentary customs and conventions, where it explicitly informed all members that the decorum and the seriousness of the proceedings of the House requires that there should be no Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, or any other slogans raised in the House. So Vande Mataram, in your view, as of last week, placed on record in a parliamentary bulletin as a slogan that was both indecorous and non-serious. And yet, you suddenly want to discuss it for 10 hours in this House. Why? I'll tell you why. Because no doubt, some half-wit BJP IT cell minion has probably advised you that the Vande Mataram card, if played right, will give you an advantage to the BJP in the 2026 Bengal elections. There is no other reason behind the timing of this discussion, none at all, take it from me. But we are delighted. We are delighted not only to be able to get this fabulous opportunity to give you a lesson in history, but also to demonstrate to you that how delving into Vande Mataram will only prove how removed you are from the soul of Bengal, from the psyche of Bengal, and how our Ma will never be hostage to your narrow electoral goals. Yes. Let the history lesson begin. What do you say? Let it begin. Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay's two-stanza hymn, Vande Mataram, was first published in the literary journal Bongo Darshan on November 7, 1875. At that time, there were no patriotic societies or nationalistic organizations to speak of in India, except for the Indian League in Calcutta, which was founded by some patriotic Bengalis, Shishir Ghosh, Ananda Mohan Bose, Surendranath Banerjee, to rally public support against British colonial rule. The RSS and the BJP were nowhere in sight. The RSS was formed 50 years later, in 1925, and the BJP was formed 105 years later, in 1980. And incidentally, the ruling party, the Sangh Parivar, do not sing Vande Mataram. I remember this hilarious episode in 2017, I think it was, on TV, where there was a BJP spokesperson called Naveen Kumar Singh, and he was asked to sing Vande Mataram. He was looking at his mobile phone, and even then he couldn't sing it. Also, in August 2017, I remember a cabinet minister in the UP government, Baldev Singh Aulak, I think his name was, he was unable to correctly sing this song on a TV news show. In January 2019, before the last Lok Sabha election, BJP leaders held a protest where they were going to make Muslims sing the song. They themselves could not sing the song correctly, so the meeting descended into chaos, and the BJP leaders and their followers chanted slogans like, "Is desh mein agar rehna hoga, to Vande Mataram kehna hoga." So frankly, the BJP's commitment to this song is a badly scripted comedy. The British banned the use of this slogan, Vande Mataram, under the sedition laws, and banned its singing in any public place. When India's youngest freedom fighter, Bengal's brave son, Khudiram Bose, was led to the gallows in 1908, he had Vande Mataram on his lips. When in 1927, Ram Prasad Bismil walked to the gallows in Gorakhpur jail, when Ashfaqullah Khan walked to the gallows in Faizabad jail, they all had Vande Mataram on their lips. But this is the same slogan that the Rajya Sabha bulletin finds non-decorous and non-serious in the Rajya Sabha. Who in the BJP, who in the RSS, who in the treasury benches can claim even a tenuous link to the freedom struggle, that today you feel you are the guardians of Vande Mataram and will teach us Bengalis and the rest of India what its significance is? Out of 585 total prisoners in Andaman Cellular Jail, Kalapani, between 1909 and 1938, 68%, 398 were Bengali. The second largest contingent was from the Punjab, 95 revolutionaries. Why did you not rename the cellular jail after Barin Ghosh, after Ullashkar Dotto, after Indu Bhushan Roy? What homage have you paid Bengal? What homage have you played the land of Vande Mataram? Today you're having a discussion on this. The hymn Vande Mataram did not gain much popularity till it was included in Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay's novel Anandamot in 1882 when it was published. Now, when he published it, he added 4 extra stanzas to it. The first 2 stanzas, which he had written in 1875, were a lyrical ode to the motherland. It says, "Giver of bliss, beauty." The version in the novel, which he incorporated in 1881-82, had a different tone than that of the original poem. The figure of sweetness and light was now endowed with a fearsome accoutrement and the trappings of war almost. But this is in keeping with the narrative of the novel, which was about the Shonnashi rebellion. It is important to note here